This is Perp back with another video, and I just got done checking out this brand new Netflix series called Terror Tuesday Extreme. This is coming out of Thailand. This is 8 episodes long. This is based off like some radio show. Like these are like real stories that people kind of call in and talk about. I want to kind of do my research on that. I want to kind of find this actual like radio station, or if this is just part of the show, because it's interesting how all these 8 episodes kind of tell vastly different stories, and they all have different vibes to them. I don't know none of the actresses or actors' names, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to try to butcher none of them, but everybody did a really solid job. The first episode, called Our Little Sister, this set the tone for the series really well, as you have the main character of this first story. She lost her sister in a car accident, and her mom are kind of going through the grieving stages. So her mom decides to get this creepy ass fucking doll. And bro, that doll and just how they set up the scares and stuff like that really gets underneath my skin. It literally sent chills down my spine. It did a really good job of just building that atmosphere, and it continues into episode 2, where we have a character that has to look over this wedding shop, and it's all about this like cursed dress. And once again, I'll say the tone of this episode was even better than the first episode. Now, when we get to the third episode, that's called Ode to the Family. I think that's what it's called. Um, it's an okay episode. I would say it's the second to last weakest one for me, even though it does have like some Evil Dead vibes, a little bit of May the Devil Take You. It really gets kind of crazy, and it also has kind of like this Groundhog's Day kind of effect that it's kind of going for. What I like about the series as I'm watching it is each episode has a dark ending, except for episode 4, which has like a kind of a dark, happy ending, because you have this couple that, they one the female in the relationship, she wants to continue to look after this resort and grow old, while the male just kind of wants to do his own thing. He wants to go to Sweden. But what gets interesting is this entity, the goddess, which I really like the design of the goddess, really creepy with the white eyes and whatnot. That seems to be a reoccurring thing throughout this whole entire series. They really go crazy with the practical effects. They don't really try to like use any cheap CGI, even though you could definitely see some blood that or some effects that aren't as high quality, you know what I'm saying, but it's not too distracting. It doesn't take you out of it. But the Vow was really dope. And then we get to episode 5, and that is probably the episode that has still a good amount of creepiness and unsettling vibes, but has the most humor, as you have this teacher that is looking for a missing student, and then when she finds this missing student, she ends up finding out that her mom and her grandma and her father are trying to kill him because of this drug that makes them hallucinate. And I really liked that episode. I thought that was really interesting. The shot of the teacher covered in blood just smiling, that was a great shot. That was probably my favorite shot out of all of the episodes. I wish I could post it here, but I can't. The weakest episode is the girl next door. That definitely made me like kind of doze off a little bit, but I feel like they really did a good job of rounding everything out with episodes 7 and 8, the Dear Grandma episode and the Viral Curse. The Dear Grandma episode was pretty damn creepy and very trippy, because a lot of it took place during the day, where it starts off with this daughter that's kind of looking after her mom and stuff like that, and then she looks away for 1 second and she just kind of disappears, and then later on in the episode she reappears, but her and her daughter start to have this kind of back and forth, and it has this kind of crazy twist to it. Each episode just has a interesting twist. Like I said, other than like episode 6 that didn't really catch me at all, like I didn't really vibe with that episode at all. I still appreciate each episode, because every episode was really well shot, really well directed. The jump scares were pretty effective when they were effective, if that makes sense. But then, like, the last episode, I really liked. It's the shortest one, The Viral Curse, where you have this mom and her 6-year-old daughter. The mom's kind of struggling, keeping her business afloat, trying to provide for her kid, also kind of dealing with the drama within the town. And while she's like doing her thing, she listens to this radio show, which I feel like just ties into the whole Terror Tuesday Extreme thing. And I want to really do my research and try to find this radio show with all these different kind of like what seems to be like creepypasta, actual real stories or something like that, that people kind of call it and tell. And that's what kind of, it was pretty much foreshadowing for her character and what was going to happen to her daughter and whatnot. So overall, really enjoyed this series. Very violent, a lot of creative, stories here, and I'm really curious to see if they're going to do a season 2. I would be down. 8 episodes. Each episode is about like 40 minutes. If you cut off the intro, it's about like 38 minutes or so. But yeah, I really enjoyed this, even though I watched it dubbed. Some of the dubs weren't the best, I should say. But yeah, I know most people would probably watch this with the subtitles and the actual voice actors and whatnot. But everybody did a great job. I thought they did a lot of interesting ideas here, and it's definitely worth checking out. But if you do get around to checking this out, let me know what are some of your favorite episodes, your favorite stories from this series. Until next time, I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.